Hi guys, today I'm going to explain about the calculated DAX expression. So in the previous video, we have seen the difference between measure and calculated column, right? So what if you see this? So I have created one table, so which will give you some deep dive into how the calculate function will work. So basically, if you see here category name, right? So I have created one measure which is test measure, which is very just a sum of this discount. So what is happening when I drag and drop this test measure into here, right? So on that, yeah. So when I drag and drop this test measure and I have a used test measure by category name. So basically it is bifurcating or breaking down based on the category name. This is called a filter context, right? So if you want to override your filter context and if you want to play around with the filter context and if you don't want to respect your filter context and do the calculations, then this calculate DAX expression will help you in a better way. So let me show you the each form. So this is the calculate formula which I have created. Go here. So here what I'm trying to do is I want to calculate the total discount, the sum of discount only for the category name of seafood. So basically you are filtering out the table. You can see here I'm using this filter DAX expression. Here what I'm doing, I'm just filtering out the category table using for the category name seafood. So how this expression will work. So first it will go through this filter expression. It will filter out the entire table. It will give you the result as one row which containing one entire row which containing the category name of the seafood. So once that is done, then it will calculate the total sum of discount. So that's what this expression will do. So so basically, if you want to override the existing filter context, so because when if you see here, so it displaying is bifurcating for all the categories names, right? This measure. But if you want to see this bifurcation only for the seafood, if you don't want to see for other category names, then it's have this calculate expression. And let me go for another thing. Calculate this. Let me show this without how what it is doing. So here I'm not using any filter expression, right? I'm just using the calculate and I'm just writing the condition. So you can see the difference here, right? If I use filter, what will happen, right? If we use filter, basically it will filter out. Let me go to this thing. Yeah, so it will filter out the table first, then it will give you the set of sorry, this is not the thing. One minute. Calculate. Yeah, so it is basically filtering out. It will validate the first filter expression. It will filter out the required data and it will return the table, and then it will calculate the entire discount for that particular table. So that's what it is, returning only one set of value. But if I see this thing, right, here you can see it's basically first it will go each row by row, and then it will fetch the data and it will give the same value for all the category names. So that's how it will work if you don't use filters. So there are some use cases where we need to use filter and where we don't want to use filter. So it depends upon the use case, we need to use this expressions. and let me go this calculate or condition. So here what I'm trying to achieve it, say, so I would like to have the category name seafood and category name produce. So I'm using this OR expression here basically. So what is happening here? Basically it is going to row barrow and taking the values which is satisfying this condition, seafood and produce, and it is summing up of those two discount values, and it is fetching the results for all the, I mean it's displaying the results, same result for all the category names. Similar to like whatever we have worked, right, for without filter, so the same thing. But instead of this thing, what if I use filter here? Okay, right. This is very confusing. I didn't follow this proper naming conventions. Yeah. So if instead of the same thing, okay, the same OR condition I have used inside the filter. So as I mentioned earlier, the same thing happens. So first it validates the filter expression, and it is filtering out the necessary uh, uh, category names, and it is fetching out the table, and then it will calculate the discount values uh, for uh, for those particular category names for seafood and produce. But if you can observe, it's not summing up, right? Basically it is giving the results for produce and seafoods. So here what is happening, if I use this calculate function without filter, it is summing up the values, whatever conditions it is satisfying, right, the produce and seafood. So it is fetching the data, and it is summing up those two things. So it's not segregating the values, it's summing up. But here with this filter, basically it's a table, right? It is fetching out the table by using this filter condition, then it is summing up the values for individual category names. So that's how it will work. So so it depends upon the use case. It's whatever use case, especially if you want to uh, do some what to say percentage for row barrow. Let's take you would like to see how seafood is contributing for each category name, for each category. So in this case, maybe I would like to go ahead with this calculate function, which don't have this filter expression. So then I can go ahead with this or condition. So instead of in that, it depends upon the use case, whatever use case you want to work with, and depends upon your requirement, we need to use these conditions. And also like in some cases, right, if we want to use measure in the, like let's take, I would like to fetch the data, or I would like to have the data whose sum of sales less than 5,000. So that's a requirement. So in that particular case, you can't use that measure calculation inside. I mean, we can't use without filter expression. If you don't use filter expression, it will not allow you to get the data for the measure condition. If you want to have any measure condition, then you should go ahead with the filter expression itself. So that's how it is. It's all depends upon your requirement and your use case. So I think yeah, that's pretty much about calculate expression. If you have any doubts, maybe feel free to do comments. Yeah, thank you.